everyone, this is Elias from Rev Match Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2025 Genesis GV80 3.5T Prestige all-wheel drive. Now, this thing is definitely prestigious, and it's a lot of fun too. So let's go ahead and get started. We get started in the front, and this thing is awesome. I love the front. I love the color, the Storr Green color, which is basically a matte green, except thank you, sun, for being out. You can really see it's green here, but it kind of looks like, when the sun's not hitting it, like a gray, like a dark gray, like a light black kind of color to it. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like the shifting that it has. But yeah, right now that the sun is hitting it, this has been the most green I've seen it all week. So it looks really good. I like this color. And then we get the grille. Speaking about color, we get the grille, which is in bright chrome. Yeah, I think it works well. Now, typically I'm a big fan of like black chrome or like a more gunmetal, but I like the shine of the pure chrome color here, not just a variation of it. So loving that. Then we get to the headlights, and these things are incredible. I love these little cubes. The little cubes of light look really cool. The output was excellent, no complaints about it. And yes, we do have the double stacked headlight system like we typically do in a lot of Genesis vehicles. So love this front end. Yeah, and then at the bottom we get a little bit of more chrome. Down there we have the front facing camera, which has been great, especially paired with the other cameras to give you a nice 360-degree camera system. So loving this front end. Love the hood, yeah, with the sculpted kind of crest that comes down here. So let's go ahead and take a look what we have under this hood. We get under the hood and we have the 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, and it is cranking out 375 horsepower and 391 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to the 8-speed auto and then to the all-wheel drive system. Now, a couple of things with this. The engine itself, I think it's plenty of power. Yeah, usually you hear me asking for more. It can really get this big guy moving. The power delivery is smooth as well. Even with the turbos, you don't feel a turbo kick. It's just linear to almost to the point where it can either feel naturally aspirated or even just supercharged because of the amount of additional power we get. So it has that linearity of power delivery. So love that. The 8 speeds, great. Easy for takeoff, easy for highway passing, you know, easy for cruising. It's just a great setup. It really is. And then the all-wheel drive system, I like the fact that this is a more rear biased all-wheel drive system. And you can really see it in the little meter that we get on the dashboard, where it's going to start with the rear, and then if it needs additional power being sent, it will put it to the front, which is good. I'm kind of tired of these systems that are just super front-wheel drive biased, and once it starts noticing or sensing a slip, it kicks the power to the rear, and by that time the feeling is just really awkward. Yeah, so love the fact that we get the more rear wheel bias with this setup. We get down to the wheel and tire package, and we have these massive 22-inch wheels, and they are wrapped in the 265/40 Michelin Primacy Tour all-season tire. Now, a couple of things with this. So I love the design of the wheel, nice classic 5-spoke design with a little bit of a twist to them as well. We do have kind of the machined face a little bit with the design there, but we have that kind of dark gray or light, more like a lighter gray color. So yeah, looks good. I don't know if I would change these because they're classy, they're clean design and so on. Now the tires, I wouldn't change those either because Michelin has been really impressing me whenever we have Primacy model tires. Super quiet, grippy, talk to you, tell you what they're doing. It's just incredible tire setup. So loving it and loving the fact that we get it in this. And then the brakes, yeah, these things are really good. I was impressed at how good they were able to get this big guy stopped. So loving this. The suspension, be aware that the suspension is probably not as kind of floaty as you would get with the G80. So if you're kind of deciding, do I want the sedan or SUV, the G80 was a little bit on the floatier, more relaxed side of things. This, you're gonna feel it a little bit more. And some may have to do with the fact that we have such a big tire as well, such a big wheel, and maybe not the biggest of sidewalls on there. But it's still great, it's still comfortable, but if you're looking for kind of that sky ride kind of thing, yeah, you may want to go with the G80 for that cloud-like feel. But overall though, this thing is awesome. Loving this setup. So let's go ahead and see what we have on the side. We get to the side and this thing is big. And what I do like about this though, is we do get kind of it looks like it's moving when it's standing still. Yeah, and I think it has to do more with just kind of how the design weight, so to speak, is kind of distributed towards the back, because it looks like literally it's accelerating forward. So loving that kind of psychological design that you get, or feeling that you get with the design. But let's go ahead and break it down. So in the front, we do have the headlights kind of peeking out a little bit. We do get the side markers here, which look great. We have more chrome trim, which again, I usually like black chrome or just black trim, but I think because of this flat green color, it just stands out so well and accents everything so well. So yeah, turn signals there. We do get the colored fender covers as well. We take a look at the wheels, and yeah, I think the 22s work perfectly with the size of this SUV, because it's a big SUV. So yeah, I like the proportions we get with that. Down here, we get the chrome trim, which looks really good, and it goes kind of all the way back, including the back of the bumper back there. So yeah, loving that little accent line. We do get the handles that have a little bit of a chrome trim on them, with nice little touch, as well as the, yes, I know it's not black framing, but we do have the nice chrome framing around. We also get the roof rails, which they're kind of chrome, but a little bit more polished. It looks like a different shade of the chrome, but it does, yeah, if you need to hook up some storage up there, or put your more toys up there, so you have that option. And the design line though, this is really nice. So we have one that just kind of sweeps all the way back, and then this that kind of kicks out, and we get a little bit of a pseudo wide body, so to speak. So not too much, just a little bit of a touch, but it looks really good. Now I don't have the key in my pocket or in my hands, because this actually has like proximity unlocking. So I have them off camera, so let me go ahead and grab that. Okay, so I went ahead and I grabbed the keys, and when I get close to it, it already starts to recognize that I'm close to it. I go ahead and grab it, and I'm good to go. Really big doors, really easy to get into as well. Nice big height. And then we can go ahead and close that. Oh, actually forgot. So this has soft closed doors. So yeah. So with the G80, I mentioned, if you haven't watched that, please do. It's a fun vehicle to review. But I sold this as the perfect setup for, or the perfect option for kids, because no longer are they going to be slamming the doors. You could kind of sell it to them as, oh, let's see who can close it the gentle, you know, the most gentle for it to auto grab. Yeah, save yourself some money having to repair a slammed door. But yeah, no issues. Again, big door, easy to just kind of do that, and it's gonna go ahead and grab it. Now I'll go ahead and lock it, and we'll grab the back, and it does have the sensor. I can go ahead and open that up. Big opening as well. And again, teach the kids or play the game with them. Just gently close it, and it's closed. We can also lock it, in the back, which is a nice touch. I've been taking equipment out of this. I've been taking my son out of it with grocery bags, things like that. And you know, it's nice to have the fact that you can lock it here without having to move to the front and lock it. So really nice touch. Or you can tell them, go ahead and close it and lock it yourself. So loving that. And yeah, that's kind of what you get with the side profile. So let's see what we get in the back. We get to the back and this thing looks really nice. It has kind of that SUV coupe look to it. And yes, they do have the GV80 coupe, but it's a softer version of that. The GV80 coupe definitely has a more significant, pronounced coupe rear design, but it looks good. I like it. We have the nice big spoiler on the top here, and we need that kind of depth because we do have a rear view camera. So loving that, because this rear glass isn't the biggest. So we have to use the camera to give you the best option to basically your field of view behind you. And it's not a bad default that you're gonna have to use because it's just so good. I love the frame rate that we get. I love the quality that we get. At night, it is amazing because you don't have these bright shining lights going through your rear view mirror. You just have a toned down version coming through the camera. So loving that. And then we have the rear wiper, which you can see, yes, we did get this dirty, and it's just simply rain, just simple rain, and it's going to get dirty because the color really shows. But guess what? It's actually really easy to clean. I'm literally cleaning it with my hands. Yeah, my hands are dirty, but it's clean. So if you're wanting to go with the matte color for maintenance, I actually thought it was going to be more difficult to deal with. No, I think it's actually easier because it's just that easy to clean off. But yeah, we have that, and we have the taillights, which are awesome. I love these taillights. We have that kind of LED framing that we get around it, and we get the double stacked taillights as well. So loving that design. We have the GV80 badge. We have the big Genesis badge. We have the all-wheel drive 3.5T badge. We have the reverse camera, which ties into the 360-degree system, which is, again, really nice in the Genesis. A little bit of chrome trimming down here. And we don't get an exhaust. Yeah, so we don't get any exhaust peaking. I'd like to see a little bit more of that exhaust on a SUV like this to get that more performance kind of look to it. So yeah, now let's go ahead and see what we get in here, and you'll know why I'm laughing. Now, the reason I was laughing is because I've had such a problem with this rear hatch opening, because it does have the proximity. Okay. Yeah, that's how long it took for it to recognize. And I got lucky to recognize because sometimes it has been recognizing it and other times it hasn't. So I don't know what the parameters are for it, but yeah, yeah, let me go ahead and close it because I'll show you the other thing that has been kind of getting used to, and that's this. The button is actually here to open up the rear hatch. And I say that because the other day it was at night and I was trying to open it up. I was pressing everything down there. There's nothing down there. And the sensor didn't kick in to open up. So I forgot that we had that. Now, not to worry though, once I remembered that from previous Genesis that I've reviewed, I was loving it because it's just higher there and it's not having to kind of reach underneath or trying to fiddle with trying to figure out where it is. So once we get open though, we do get a good amount of space. So there is a ton of space in here for all my things. Yeah, you can see my tripod easily fits, you know, all compact, but still with a good amount of space there. We do get a, well, this has a nice little floor mat there. We do get a little storage area here with a net, maybe. Yeah, that's about what you can fit in there. We do get a 12-volt adapter here, and we do get the power seats. So I'll go ahead and push down for the left because my kiddo seat is on the right, and we can see that goes down, and it will go up as well. So while that's going down, I'll go ahead and show you guys this, because this is the other thing that, you know, the little cover back here, which is nice. The only thing is it's kind of a pain that to get that pole out and then having to kind of stow it away somewhere. So yeah, that's kind of the only thing, but it is nice. I do like that. And then again, so I'll go ahead and push it, because not just bring it down, but also brings it up. How many times have I had SUVs that's just such a pain where you're not able to really, you know, bring it back up, and you're having to kind of do it manually. So nice to have that. Then we have this nice net, which I probably should have used when we were driving to kind of secure everything, because things were moving around here when we were getting, you know, spirited driving kind of thing. So we have that. Then down here, there's actually a good amount of space. So we do have kind of some storage here. We do have kind of the maintenance stuff. This is actually for the scented part of the AC, which we'll take a look at. And if we can kind of lift this up a little bit more, there is a ton more storage down there. So love this, that we get all that in here. So yeah, no complaints there. Yeah, we have a Bang & Olufsen rear system there. So that's a nice little touch, and that's kind of what we get in the rear. Close that off and you are set. We get to the door and we have what they call the Earth Brown and Smoky Green color, which I think it fits very well. And let me show you what I mean, is that this, it's going to be a little difficult to kind of film. Let me see, maybe there. That's not gray, that's not black, that's green. It's green, but it's such a smoky green that it's, you kind of get into it and you're like, wait, this isn't just a dark black color or dark gray color. So loving that. Now this, love this design as well. Let me see if I can show you. So we have just kind of a hatched pattern, but looks like kind of trees. So love that. It feels really nice too. Up here, yeah, this green is really nice, pretty comfortable. Up here to put your arm there. We have the Bang & Olufsen system, which is just that, banging. It really is. It sounded nice and clear. So we have kind of two drivers there, and then we have the bigger one down here. We get this earth color here, which just looks really nice, feels really great. And the controls, yeah, so I want to talk about the controls, because yeah, very simple, very straightforward as far as these kind of go. And we get the option for child lock, which I really love, because so many times with all these press cars, I always forget to kind of put the child lock, and it's a matter of, oh, let me pull over and turn it on just in case as a safety. But I like the fact that it's set as a button here, so you can just press it whenever and it's gonna go ahead and activate that there. So yeah, really loving this door. It's super nice. Oh yeah, and the storage, not too bad, not too bad. Not a lot, but it's not too bad. We get to the seats, and yeah, these things are incredible. I love the way that they look, and they feel unbelievable. Adjustability is there. Love it. You do sit a little bit high just because of this little thing here, so just kind of be aware of that. So we do have heated option, we do have vented option, which I've had to use both because this week was crazy with weather, and I had to endure the amazing massage option that this has. So yes, these are massage seats, and yes, they are really good, up there with Mercedes, which Mercedes massage seats, I'll tell you, are incredible. So big praise for Genesis on having this. And yeah, the adjustability, yeah, like I said, you have this for behind your knees. It's just a great seat. Loving it. Oh, and this headrest, super soft. So was laying my head back and really enjoying it. We take a look at the steering wheel, and this thing is really nice. Now, again, the combination of that brown color with that green there, I can show you better how this green looks. it's just really good. And look at that dashboard. It's just, I love it. I love the fact that it's not just a boring dark color. It has some secretive life to it. So love that. And yes, the materials are super soft as always with the Genesis vehicles. We do have a nice design on the airbag there with the Genesis crest. But yeah, the stitching, yeah, it's brown, but it's not too bad. I think I would have liked the green more over the brown, but looks good. Now on the left hand side we have the cruise control buttons, as well as some for the gauge cluster setting as well. So we have that. And then on the right hand side we're going to get some controls for the infotainment system, as well as for the gauge cluster. Yes, so this little guy, which we'll take a look at, but that's, and we have paddle shifters as well to go through the 8 gears. But yeah, this thing is really nice. I am loving this wheel. We get over to the gauge cluster, which is part of this massive screen. Yeah, take a look at that. That thing is one massive piece. So love the way that it looks though. Super clear, super bright. No issues with that. My only concern is the system itself. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of lackluster with what it could be. So basically in the middle we do have some settings. So break it down. We have your speedometer on the left, we have a panel in the middle, and then a panel on the right. That panel on the right can be put in the middle. I'm still trying to figure out how we can just give this the basic tachometer and speedometer. So I figured out how to actually change it. So if you actually have to press this button. So this is not just up and down to change that. It actually is a actual button that you press in to get it going. So yeah, you now have the option when you have it like that to see a tachometer. Yes, and obviously we can change the drive modes from comfort, and then you can see how the gauge cluster changes. So yeah, like I said, and I've had this for a week, and this is the second system that I have that's like this. So it's okay. Genesis has some cool things that, like, if you dive deep into them, you'll be able to kind of enjoy. But when you're dealing with very surface things that need to get changed, yeah, that's kind of, yeah, I wish that weren't the case. So yeah, as you can see, now we can kind of switch that and have just that big thing there. I don't mind this. I think I like it like this more than the other one, but just to get here was really a journey. We get to the infotainment side of the screen, and yeah, again, it's super clear, super bright, loving it. Now, we do have wireless Apple CarPlay. Thank you. Yes, I'm glad we finally have that. This system sounds loud. I love that fact that we have a massive center speaker there, and we have a bunch of those little ones on the door. So love it. It sounds so clear. It really lets you blast your music. So loving this. Again, Apple wireless CarPlay. Thank you. That's what we've needed for a while now from Genesis. And then we get to a little bit of the trim, and this thing is just really nice. I love the finishes to this. And then at the bottom here, we have the controls, which I like these shortcuts. We have a volume button there. I love these shortcuts because it lets you go to basically different sections without needing to kind of go a back kind of thing with Apple CarPlay, which can be kind of a pain in the butt. But yeah, loving that. Now we get down to the controls for the AC or the climate. And I've been fighting this system all week. I don't know why though. I guess the sensor for the temperature isn't as good as it is in the G80, because the G80 I just set it and forget it and I didn't care for it, but this was constant adjustment for it. I don't know if it's the outside weather. I did have it in auto, so I don't know if it was just trying to defrost, even though there was no need to defrost things, because it was about 40 degrees and I had it set to 69 and it was not heating me up. It was just, yeah. Anyways, I had to kind of do things manually. We do have a scent option, which is nice to have. We have those little cartridges as well that you can put on for that. Heated seat, heated steering wheel, and we also have a heated armrest, which we'll talk about soon. But it is awesome. Other than me having to constantly fight the temperature, which again probably was thrown off by our crazy temperature this week, it's not bad. It's not. Then we come back here, and yes, we get more of this really nice finish here. We open this up, and that's where we have the fun things, which are the connections for our devices. So we have two USB-Cs on the left, and we have a 12-volt on the right. Now, what I really like about this system is we have a wireless charger. Yes, we have a wireless charger, and we have the smartest of wireless chargers, because yes, we get a little bit of a lip, because our phones aren't flat. Our phones on the back are not flat. As you can see, we have a little bit of a lip because of the camera. Yes, my phone has taken a couple of drops this week. But yeah, you can see because of that, when we go ahead, let me see if I can do the chuck test with this. So, bad attempt. So I'll go ahead and there we go. And is it charging? I don't know. If only there was a smart way of indicating to people that things are charging. Oh yeah, it's called a little light, like the one we're seeing there. And guess what? It actually is useful. And thank you, Genesis, for having something like that. You'd be surprised how many cars I review that I don't know if the vehicle is charging. And yes, you do get the indication here on the Apple CarPlay. But what if your significant other or your passenger is wanting to charge their device and it's not paired to the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto? So yeah, the fact that we have a light, small little thing, but believe me, not many companies have that. So love it. And the fact that it's very clear that it's there is a nice touch. So once that's set, you close it and you're good to go. We come a little bit back and we have the literally back button, home, and then we have the menu. Yeah, more additional shortcuts that are really nice to kind of have and get to. Now, one thing I am noticing for some reason, and it's not that my hands have been just extra dirty this week, but this, I didn't see that in the other Genesis vehicles. I don't know if I'm just touching this more, but it's just, yeah, it's super dirty. It's like, I try cleaning it and it gets dirtier. It's like stain more steel, as I like to call them. So yeah, just kind of be aware of that. It's not something you can just literally wipe with your hand. You are going to have to get a super clean cloth because, yeah, it's just, I'm just smudging it. I'm not able to clean anything, which is kind of ironic because that's the sensor for your fingerprint. Yeah. So just kind of be aware. Yeah, it has some services obviously I can't use because it's not my car and all that stuff. But that's what you get there. Now, this guy is amazing. Okay, I cannot complain about this input device because or anyone really for that matter, because if you're the kind that likes to spin the knob, it does that. If you're the kind to push the knob, it does that too. So it goes to the next song. If you're the kind that likes to kind of write on it, it can do that too. So basically, shut up. Here's what Genesis is trying to tell you. Shut up because you're going to be able to use this. And I love it. Oh yeah, and if you don't want to do all of those, guess what? You could always just touch the screen and go to the next song. Yeah. So thank you for shutting me up because I can't complain about this knob because it does literally every input possible that I can think of. Actually, I'll complain one more. I wish it had like a holographs where you can just kind of go like that, like you can with the BMW. Oh, okay, I'm joking. But yeah, it's awesome. Love that little feature. We come back and we have the gear selector, which is nice. I've gotten used to this guy. Super easy to go from drive to reverse to park, and then we have our auto hold, which is nice. It does take a little bit of extra push to kind of get it out of auto hold, so pushing the gas is what I mean. So just kind of be aware of that with stop and go traffic. But other than that though, so if you're like in a parking lot, it's probably best if you take it off to kind of creep into your spot or to creep out of it. So other than that though, like I said, really nice, no complaints there. Then we have the cup holders on the right hand side, nice big cup holders, no complaints. We have some grabs on the side for smaller cups, so no issue there. We come back and we have the drive mode selector. So we have that eco, comfort, sport, my setting, and then the snow there. So love that. It's kind of spring loaded, which is kind of cool. So yeah, not too bad. Then we have our parking. So we have for our camera system, which I am loving this thing, because now I'm in park, but I can go ahead and do this and do a top down. I can do tires. Yes, thank you for giving me tire options. And then we have kind of the full screen front. But not only that, what I really love about this system is that I can actually activate the rear, which so many systems, unless you are in reverse, you cannot activate rear cameras. So love that. We have the top down to make sure that we fit in our spot or not going to hit anything. And then we have our rear tires as well, because yeah, that's not, I'm turning the wheel, but you can see that's for the rear tires. So this thing is awesome. Love that. And then we have that. And then obviously we have the 360-degree view. So I can go ahead and just kind of spin it around and get to basically the different sides that I want. But yes, loving this system. What would I ask of it? Maybe a tad sharper. That's really the only thing I would ask of this system. Just a tad sharper cameras, because I know this screen is super sharp, so I definitely know it's not the screen giving me that resolution. But yeah, loving the fact that we have that. And then obviously we have the parking assist there. We have the center diff lock, and then we have the auto start stop off there. Then we get to the armrest, which kind of scared me when I had when I was driving this literally in 38-degree weather, and I had the heated, I don't know, honestly, I don't know if it's with the steering wheel or with the heated seat, but this started heating up. So it was super soft. And I was like, why is my arm getting nice and toasty? And I was enjoying it, and I wasn't getting cold. I was getting warmed up. So it was a nice little warm hug. But yeah, we have heated armrest. And then because of that, for some reason, we suffer horribly with storage, because this thing, hell, my cable barely fits in there because it's not very deep. So I have my race box in there, and yeah, it's like, yeah, it won't close. It's definitely putting pressure on it. So it's kind of a shame that literally you can probably only put sunglasses in there. And even then I'd be worried about closing that. Like that's how non-existent storage is in here. Then we get up here, and yeah, the visibility isn't the best for that rear window, like I mentioned. So when you go ahead and flip this little guy, we go over to the camera, and we can just see a ton more. And yeah, we can raise the brightness. We can basically, if we wanted to go lower or higher, probably a little bit of in between, brightness all the way up. So it's just really nice to have that as an option. Instead of having to look out of that rear window. Now, the other thing as well, when we come up here, we do have our taco holder, which looks like my wife has her sunglasses in there. And yeah, we turned on the lights. We have lights right up here as well. But one thing I really like about this is, take a look, and I'll kind of put the camera like this. I'm going to open up the sunshade, and yeah, it's two sections. I kind of like that. I kind of like that we get that. And then obviously we'll go ahead and open up the sunroof. So only the front is going to go ahead and open to the rear. But yeah, I really like that. So, and I'm not a big sunroof guy, so to have me enjoy it, even though I own a convertible, but to have me enjoy something like that, it's really good. I kind of like the way that it opens. We get to the back door, and we get that same green color, the smoky green, and then we have the brown as well. And we have great finishes. This is really nice. This is actually really wide for the top area, and I'll show you why in a little bit. But yeah, we have the brushed aluminum looking handles, the speakers as well, and then the bottom one there. I do like the fact that we do get basically the same speaker setup in the back that we do in the front. Many cars will kind of, for a better choice of words, half-ass the rear, where it will go ahead and then just put like half of the speakers or only just literally just the bottom woofer. So love the fact that we still have great entertainment for the rear. But yeah, we have the handle here, we have the buttons there, a little bit of storage, not too much. But one thing I wanted to show you is, why is this so wide? And that's because if you make the window go, well, the window's already up, but if you bring it up again, yeah, so we have peasant blockers, and we have them electronically. So you could do that. And then is the actual window. As you can see, the rear glass is tinted from just the camera, and then we can have even more protection. So love that. It is so nice to have that. And yeah, you can guess my kiddo was loving it, so I had to put the window lock on it so that he wouldn't keep going up and down with it. But yeah, love the way that that is. We take a look at the rear seats, and these things are just as beautiful as the front ones. And yeah, they're really nice. We do have the venting option as well as the heated option in the rear. So yes, your rear passengers, I almost don't want to be a driver in this. I just want to be in the back and enjoying the awesomeness that we get with the rear seats. So love that. And we also obviously have their own climate. They have their own USB-C charging as well as a power adapter there. But let's go back to the seats, because there is a lot to this seat, more than meets the eye, so to speak. So yes, they're kind of like Transformers. So what I mean by that is this. Yeah, rear seats with power controls, because yes, I can go ahead and lean them back. So that is a good amount of basically being able to lean them back and enjoy and relax. Now you're probably wondering, well, there's not that much leg room space, but that's because I have them pretty forward, and I can go ahead and move this back, and I'll go ahead and straighten them out a little bit more though. And yeah, you do get more space in the back when you go ahead and move that. Now the front seats are obviously in the enter exit setting, so they typically will be pushed forward, and then we have obviously a little bit of storage there. Now that's just kind of the first part of things. Then we have the hidden cup holders that my kid likes to say we have there, and then for storage of virtually nothing, because it's not really that deep. So just be aware of that. And we bring this up, and as far as child seat, yeah, not a problem. The hooks are right in there. They're fairly easy to get to. The other kind of parlor trick we get with this is we have a kind of a latch here where we can go ahead and lift up, and then what that's going to do is it will let you put things through on there. So you know, if you have skis, you can just literally put them all the way through and not have to bother your passengers. So we have that. And then this, so we can actually fold it from within the front. We don't have to go to the back, all the way back there, and push the button. So I love that. And yeah, they fit really flat as well, parallel to that. So I am really loving this thing. And oh yeah, they go back up. Thank you Genesis, for basically picking up the slack where other brands just can't seem to figure out the most simplest of things, like up and down for the seats, especially when they're powered. Yeah, we go for a drive, and yeah, the GV80 is pretty comfortable. Yeah, no complaints with comfortability. The suspension is going to be a little bit on the sportier side, so just be aware of that. But other than that, though, I think it just feels, it's just a tight chassis and suspension. So in a good way, So it's not too bad. It's not super floaty, which is good, but it's not bad. Now, as far as luxuries, oh my gosh, yes. This thing has them, and that's what makes this ride comfortable. And because I am actually running the massage seats right now, and yeah, I'm extremely relaxed. Yeah, it's really good. It's a really good system, just like I had in the G80 as well. So loving that. And what was great about this is the whole week I've been wanting to just drive and comfortably and not really push it. I've pushed it a couple of times, and it can respond. So definitely we'll take a look in a little bit. But I mean, this has been such a great SUV to just go get your groceries, go on a long ride, you know, just all these different things, and it's done it really well. So I am really liking the GV80. Yeah, I don't know if I'd go this or the sedan, but either way, you can't go wrong. You really can't. But yeah, everything is super soft, super comfortable. Everything is where it needs to be. Yeah, my moment of like, wow, this is just kind of that little step extra was definitely that that heated armrest when it got cold and I actually needed to use the heated steering wheel. So yeah, that was pretty nice to have as an option, because I was like, oh wow, my arm is getting nice and warmed up. But let's go ahead and have some fun. So we had it in eco mode, so we'll go ahead and switch it over to our sport mode. Now this doesn't have the Sport Plus like Genesis usually offers, and all the Sport Plus is just the sportiness with traction control off. So we can go ahead and turn it off manually with the button there, but let's go ahead and try it with it and see how it goes. So yeah, it sounds good. That is one of the things I gotta give it to Genesis, that they made the V6 sound really, really nice. And oh, you can feel the weight in this. Oh yeah, you really can. So just kind of be aware, but this thing is a tight end. It is a linebacker that is big, but also very nimble. So, yeah. Oh yeah, I have my cargo is moving all around back there, but wow, those brakes, that was pretty impressive. And I can see the power distribution. This thing is actually pretty rear wheel bias. If you're not really hammering it, it won't really go to the front wheel. So it's not a front wheel based all-wheel drive, which is nice to have, especially nowadays when everything is just so reactive of like, oh, you know, traction's being lost, let me go ahead and kick it to the rear. No, it's already kicking it to the rear and starting with the rear. So nice to see that. Wow. Yeah, that was pretty impressive. I was impressed at how good this thing did around the corner. Now you are going to feel the weight, so definitely don't think this is a very nimble little SUV kind of thing. It is big. It definitely feels big. So let's go ahead and see how we do. We'll go ahead and give it a little bit of a drop in the wheel there and 3-point turn. And oh, it braked for us. It's not too bad considering, it's not in three points, but yeah, there you go. Not too bad. So yeah, pretty impressed considering this is a pretty big SUV. Now I've gone ahead and set up the race box. It is our telemetry box for 0 to 30, 0 to 60, drag timer, lap timer. It does a lot. So great company to work with. I'll go ahead and put my link in the description for you to grab one, and maybe for a little bit of a discount. So yeah, check it out. So I've gone ahead and I've put the car in sport mode, and we turned off traction control just because I feel the all-wheel drive is going to be good enough to kind of get us going. And I am not going to load up the brakes because it just didn't do anything. It kind of bogged down. I did lock the center diff, so let's see what we get. Okay, so let's talk numbers. So we're dealing with 0 to 30 in 2.18 seconds and 0 to 60 in 5.99 seconds. Now, yeah, that launch was uneventful, but that's because the power was just being distributed where it needed to be. So definitely liked, you know, how again, it was just go. Like, it really wasn't anything of like, oh gosh, I have to steer, I have to let off the throttle or anything. It went, I had it straight, it went straight. So liking that. And then we also have, yeah, the fact that we were able to get that 0 to 30 time in that amount on a big vehicle like this. Yeah, that's pretty good. And the 0 to 60 isn't too bad either. So yeah, this thing can definitely get going. And it can also turn once you know, make use of that weight, because it's going to, there you go. Yeah, that inner wheel there. I love putting that wheel down there because it just grabs the car, and it did. It grabbed it and it really made it easy to rotate. But this thing is incredible. Like I said, this is like a linebacker or a tight end that's just massive. But man, is this thing so nimble at that. Granted, as far as going, turning, we need to kind of work on that a little bit, but it's still really good. If you don't want to, you can just go to eco mode, you know, go ahead and put all the safety stuff on and just relax, enjoy it, and let the GV80 do the work for you. And that's what this thing has been so good at, is just let it ease your stop and go traffic, let it ease your drive to make your destination, whether it's just down the block or just down the next state kind of thing. Really easy to do. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed my review of the 2025 Genesis GV80. And remember, find the right gear. See ya.